Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Today we're going to do a should you poll on the Cissnei and Lenna banners. Now, if there isn't a sign that, DFFOO Global is catching up to JP, I mean, it's sitting right here. This is the sign we're catching up. We literally got Lenna on September 11th, and she's already getting a rerun. So about a month later, already getting a rerun is actually kind of insane, to the point where, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they put a different character here, because we just got Lenna, which is kind of crazy. Now, I don't think they actually will change her, because this is tied to a Spiritus fight, right? So it definitely will still be Lenna, but if they did decide to change the character, I actually wouldn't be surprised, because it's been we literally just got her. It's kind of crazy. So anyways, let's talk about these banners. And we'll talk about any calls or spheres that are notable. I would say probably one of the most notable, there are some notable calls and spheres here, right? Because Lenna has a very good call because you can get Windrake's Ward with it, which gives you debuff evasion. So having that on a call is very good, and that is a call that I've used from time to time in tough fights to get debuff evasion. And then here, Cissnei's call does have HP damage up, which is pretty good. And then her sphere is actually, I think it could be the best D-Sphere in the game, or tied with Hope for best D-Sphere in the game, because her and Hope both have party attack and max brave up. Hers is on crit damage and Hope's is on buffing, which are both very easy conditions to meet. So I would say her and Hope are kind of tied for best sphere in the game. So one benefit of pulling on Cissnei is getting EX dupes to have more Cissnei spheres, a very, very high demand sphere, I would say. Over here, I think 8's sphere is very notable. It's not a sphere you're going to need a lot of, but on an evade character, it is an incredibly powerful attack up that you could get. So definitely if you have a dodge character that wants attack, his sphere is going to be very good. Now in terms of should you pull on these banners and the characters, I mean, both of these banners have a lot of value, to be honest, right? Now if we look at Lenna here, Palom and Shantado, unfortunately, neither of them I don't think are worth pulling on. Shantado is a BTFR character, but even with that, she's probably one of the worst ones, to be honest. I have to apologize to 40 the Broadway saying, because I know he loves Shantado, but even he would admit, Shantado isn't a top tier character that you want to be gunning for anyways. Just like how I would admit Terra is actually kind of a crap character right now, and I love Terra, so it's okay to be honest about our characters even if we love them. But yeah, Palom and Shantado, not really worth going for any reason. I don't think there's anything even notable about their calls or their spheres that you need to worry about, right? So nothing there. But Lenna is enough to carry it, and is a very good character. I recently did a top 5 support characters in DFFOO, and Lenna did make my top 5. Now she has probably already been pushed off, or pretty close to that, because of Ignis being so insane. Lenna's biggest drawback as a support is that she does not force charge. Other than that, though, she's incredible. She carries debuff evasion, which is amazing. She does really insane HP overflow to the party, so you just get really big fat HP numbers, which helps you be very tanky. She does a ton of healing and battery, so she's just a nice character. Like I said, her one big flaw, though, is that she's missing force charging, and the thing is Ignis is just a direct upgrade to her, because Ignis has debuff evasion, but also has force charging, and does a crap ton of damage. Lenna, though, by the way, does also do very good damage with the BT. She gets a really nice follow-up with it. So, if you maybe missed Ignis and you're still needing a really good support, I think Lenna is worth grabbing, but you might want to prioritize right now a character that can force charge if you don't have that. But Lenna is a nice character to grab if you need her. I think for many players, this is going to be a non-factor, because, like I said, we kind of just got her. So unless you're a super fresh new baby account, you probably pulled on her, because I recommended her very highly when she dropped the last time. So definitely a great character you can grab. I would say she's not maybe as must pull as she was a month ago, just because Ignis exists and some other really good supports, and we know we have RCL coming. But if you don't have her and wanted to pull her, I wouldn't blame you. She's very good. Then we have the Cissnei banner. Now this has value, as I already talked about, some very good spheres, and her call is pretty nice as well. But, on the side characters, I would say Yuri is kind of a throwaway, even though, once again, kind of like Shantado, another BTFR character. I think a fully invested Yuri is very good, but you only get access to LD only Yuri, and as a holy damage dealer, without the FRBT, you're not going to get a lot out of Yuri, so I wouldn't really pull here for that. But 8, on the other hand, is the type of character LD only that can actually do very well. He is a dodge counter tank, which we've seen with characters like Kelger and Edge, can do a lot of really good things, right? Now, 8 would never be like a top trace right now, especially if you have a character like Kelger or just a traditional tank like an Oron or a Rubicante, right? But Edge or 8 can definitely serve you well, and he's a character you can get by LD only and can do a lot of really good things, right? So I don't think you should chase him, but he, like, if you pull for Cissnei and pick up his LD, he might be worth investing in a little bit just to have a nice little dodge counter tank on your team. Then we have Cissnei. Cissnei is basically the queen of off-turn damage. She is going to cement herself like she did. Like when Cissnei originally dropped, she was the de facto best off-turn damage dealer in the game. And now she's kind of reclaiming that title because even though we have a lot of competition, right? Like I'd say Kadaj is very much up there. Vice is up there. We've got a lot of really good off-turn damage dealers right now. But what makes Cissnei so crazy is she's like an off-turn specialist. Like that is literally her role, is to do off-turn damage. Like that's the way her kit is built. She's not meant to be a damage dealer on turn. She doesn't like maybe do a lot of support things or anything like that. Like literally her role is off turn, so they make it very good. Whereas other characters like Kadaj and Vice, they have kind of other roles and other things that they're doing as maybe damage dealers. But yeah, she's really just meant to be off turn. Now, if you decide to go for Cissnei, and I will say this right now, she's one of the better characters this month, but she's not a must pull. Like you don't have to have her. And especially if you do have characters like Kadaj and Vice, like they're good enough, right? Even Core, like they're good enough because they just do so much damage over time, it doesn't matter. But if you want an insane off-turn damage deal and you love that kind of strategy, I would say if you're someone that is a big Lightning fan or you like running these really fast, speedy characters, Cissnei is a great character to pick up because she's just going to increase their damage. And you can do some crazy comps with double off-turn. Like you could have Kadaj and Cissnei sandwiched around Lightning, and you could do some crazy things with that team, even without a support character, a traditional support, because if you got them fully kitted BT, you're getting BT auras, like you're getting tons of stuff there. And they're going to do crazy amounts of damage with a speedster like Lightning. So there's a lot of great reasons to grab Cissnei, but if you're feeling good on off turn, you definitely don't need to get her. Now, the reason why she's so crazy, so the way her kit works is she has a stacking buff that heavily impacts how much her off-turn damage hits, right? And so what made her so good back in the day was that she could get her off-turn at 2 stacks, and it hit really hard, like by far the hardest hitting off-turn damage in the game. But the caveat to that was anytime she took a turn, it would lose stacks, and then her off-turn gets weaker and weaker and weaker, right? So the way you had to run her before was you'd use her LD, which would put her at max stacks, and then you would have to basically turn hog with other characters or use BT phases so that she wouldn't get a turn, so that you could just sit on that, right? Now you could do some sneaky things with like Realm. I think could pair really well with her because you can use Realm to keep pulling up a speedy character and like kind of leave Cissnei in the back. Like there's some fun things you can do with some characters that have come out recently, right? But what makes Cissnei so good now is that her BT makes it so that her stacking buff doesn't go down. So Cissnei now is free to get turns, get her really good off-turn damage like on her own turn, and you don't have to worry about losing the power. And the big thing with the BT is it makes her off-turn trigger twice, which is crazy because I think just standalone the single off-turn is still going to hit plenty hard and feel really good, but you're going to have that hit twice. So what they do with Cissnei is, like I said, her main role is off-turn damage. So what you're going to notice is like on a normal turn without her off-turn, her on-turn damage isn't going to be crazy. It's probably going to be about average or on par, or maybe even a little below average compared to other characters. But if you have her BT effect, what you do, so like normally what you're doing with Cissnei is you're having other characters carry the damage and then she's getting all the additionals with it. But now you probably could feature Cissnei in her own burst phase with her burst effect up, because every attack she's doing, she's going to be double countering with her own stuff and still get like really good damage, right? So Cissnei is going to be really, really nice. I say if you're going to go for her here, you probably do want to go for the BT. So if you're not prepared to full investor, I would probably just skip and settle with whatever off-turn damage dealers you have. So once again, is she a must pull? Like, do you have to have her? Probably not. I would say if you have no off-turn damage, she is a must pull. Like, I would grab her. Like, get her for the off-turn. If you don't have that in your box, that's a very useful thing to have. Now, there are players that maybe don't like that playstyle and you like different playstyles, then sure, you don't have to have her. And once again, if you have Kadaj and stuff like that, you definitely don't have to get her either. I'm thinking I am going to grab her. I think I'm going to go in with gems. I think a couple of things that play into that. Because I kind of was, like, my initial poll planning video was like, yep, Cissnei, RCLA, I'm going to get both of them. Then I was kind of getting closer. I'm like, I don't know about my resources. But now, kind of like my tickets being low, it's just like, well, yeah, I might as well just go in with gems anyways. I'm going to have to get her FR. So I might as well just gem up to BT. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I think I've got enough gems to get her and Arciela. And I think my BT mats will swing it as well. So I think I'm going to max her and Arciela out and call it good and hope that next month isn't too crazy so I can save up a little bit. But we'll see. Things are moving fast here on DFFOO. It's kind of exciting. But like I said, if you're someone that doubts that the games are merging, I mean, just look at this. I mean, Lenna, only a month after dropping, is crazy fast to me. So let me know what you think of these banners. Let me know if you're going to pull or not. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.